Oh, hello there. This is Phi with another log entry. Today we're going to showcase Legendary Co-op mode. And we ran this with Epic Guildies, so shout out to all of them. Breezy, Safon's, Trouble. I know I ran with a lot of other people too. I think Kat was there, Volley at some point. The things that I'll talk about today are not solely on me. It's kind of a team guild effort of what we found out about Legendary Co-op and how to clear. So this is not a guide per se, more of a showcase just to show how we did it, how you can, the mentality you should take to try to clear some of this content if that's what you're going for. So ultimately, cleared with a couple champions here. What we found usually works is, let me just start the video here. What usually works is 2 DPS, 2 healers, right? And especially for this water week, we've been using a lot of the Water Diva, Water MG, Blueberry, the Water Candy Munchkin, Water Blademasters are great. Now, you could also swap in other elements, right? And you'll see it here. And you can swap in other things. Like, for instance, Trouble here is going to use a Pixie, which is fine, right? But we usually limited it to like one offset per run, because you do take a lot more damage from the Legendary Co-op boss in runs like this. So the first one is just going to showcase Blueberry and how I cleared when I was solo running Blueberry and what to think about, right? So for me, I guess from AO, I played with a lot of the damage dealers, so I tend to run better when I'm running the damage dealers because I never manual the healers, but you'll see that later on. But anyways, so here's the Blueberry run. I think this is a pretty fast run. Because Blueberry's pretty good for the multi-hits, the attack speed up, the HP percent damage. As long as you really, when you're bringing the damage dealers in here, you want to make sure that you use your ults and damage moves. I know it sounds silly and straightforward, but you want to make sure you use it when the shield is down and when defense break is up, right? That's pretty much what you got to think about, right? So here we're just clearing waves. I'm not bursting my ults because I want to use that when the boss is up. So I'm just auto attacking things down, maybe using the self buff to get the crit up. But my crit is like 80% on this Blueberry, so you know, if it's not up, it's not the worst case. So you'll see me use the ult when it's not up and things like that. But yeah, okay, so Drake is up. Get hit there. I lag a little bit when we start, but you need to take the shield down, right? So once it gets down low, then I always ult, right? And of course, Trouble is doing a lot of damage with that Pixie, but it's just squishy, right? So good combo and it clears fast. See, already down on the Dark Pixie, but you know, bring it up with a Diva. Diva is a really good healer, really good reser because of that auto heal, but we'll see that more. Anyways, basically, as I mentioned, once the defense break is up, that's when you ult, right? That's when you do the damage from the Munchkins, whether you use Blueberry or the light one or whoever, right? But Blueberry is really nice because it also has the defense break on the ult as well. So if the water magical girl doesn't get the defense break down, then you can still get it. So yeah, there's the run on that one. 142. I think that was one of the better runs of the night that we did. Hollowed gloves. Yeah, there's some. So you can get some of the sets from the legendary runs. So let's go to the next one here. Alright, so next one I did it with Kalda. Oh, I didn't mention Kalda. Kalda's good too, because she's kind of the support healer. Let me just run it. You get heals, you do the attack buff, and then she also attacks pretty quick, right? So then she can help break. So in this setup, the reser would be the Diva, and then everything, and then the rest is just trying to keep everything alive, right? So same concept. I consider her kind of a attacker, but with a heal. So you kind of think hybrid-y, and then you use skills. Basically, you use her ult for the attack speed buff when the shield is down, and really you just use it whenever it's up, because I think it felt like a 9-second cooldown with everything, with the adept set, and then what is it, all the other cooldown reduction that you get. I think it's 9, maybe it's a little bit higher, but it felt like it's up pretty often. So I don't know. I like the was it skill 1 for taking down some of the mobs. It bursts pretty hard. But for this one, I initially built her a lot of crit damage and or crit rate, crit damage, made her straight up attack build, and she'd get one shot by the fire. So I wouldn't recommend that. I ended up putting HP, or sorry, attack speed, HP on her, just to make sure that she can live through things. Still put some crit rate and some crit damage, but I mean, she's not doing the damage. She just needs a buff, she needs to heal, good attack speed so it scales with the heal itself. And then Adept. You definitely need Adept, so you get these cooldowns back up to keep the attack speed up. And this doesn't do cooldown reduction, which is actually perfect for this boss, right? It does the movement speed instead, which is actually what you want. You want the movement speed so you can dodge things a bit easier. So Kalda is actually a really, really good monster for this boss, but it can be a bit squishy, and it makes you really need to sync up things, right? Because we're using her instead of our second DPS, right? And she's kind of support, and there's not really a DPS, so your other DPS has to be pretty good if you're going to run Kalda. But she is pretty good. Her kit is really nice for this set. Like, I think Seifon's had one, and he put the hollowed gear on her, and it was just clearing it. We got up to like a 6-minute run, and then we were still okay, because that hollowed set was able to clear a lot of the debuffs from our guys, so... But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, she's a good auto attacker, right? I mentioned that, so use her to help break the buffs, right? When anyone's rezzing, you always leave it to Diva, right? Diva, or if you're bringing in any of the tanks, right? Like the Archangel or the Greater Demon, I've seen those. Let them heal. Don't unless they die, you need to be auto attacking, right? Even Magical Girl, and especially Magical Girl, because she has a defense buff, defense break, things like that, right? Munchkin has it too, but if the defense break is already down when Munchkin hits, then it's even better, right? You can see the health go down as soon as the defense break is up, and then the shield is down, so then you just unload, right? These pixies are annoying. You need to clear these pixies too. It's nice because they spawn when he's out, so you have some time to clear it, but then you need to dodge all the stuff. If the multi-fireball thing hits, then you need to dodge those things, right? So but yeah, mostly straightforward. Yeah, this gets a little bit close, so you can see the 30 stacks, but ultimately we clear it. So what do we get from this? Do we show? Yeah, Hollowed Pendant. That's not bad, 5-star. From my runs on this set tonight, I got a attack speed shoulder resilient legendary. That was pretty cool, 6-star. So, but yeah. Anyways, let's see what's next. Diva. I think out of all of them, Diva is probably the easiest one to run, because you don't have to really coordinate too much. You just kind of sit back and you make sure that your heal is always running. Oh, I guess I never talked about leader traits. We found that HP is usually the best, and one note is that whenever it does the HP for boss raids, it does apply for things like this. So if you're going to use like the, was it Magical Girls synergy trait, it does affect this thing. I think Breezy confirmed it on his initial stream when we were running it, so... but anyways, but yeah, Diva's pretty easy. You just make sure that the her heal is always going. You go res people because that heal is ongoing. Make sure you click the heal before you start to res people, right? So we kind of double. We use 2 tanks, right? We have the Water AA, and in this run, we have the Water AA as our reser, right? So in that case, you just auto attack. Use your was it skill 1? I forgot what it's called. The the blast thing to just do more hits, right? It's not going to be as fast as the other guys, but it's a little bit faster, right? And then it just lets you do more damage, let the damage dealers do more damage to break that shield and then get defense break up. I like to save the stun for the pixies, because it's a long stun, right? So just to keep them out of the way. That's another little tip because the pixies can be really annoying when you're trying to res people and then they're... but yeah. So yeah, this one shows the... See, you can use the other Blademasters that are off element, but they do get hit pretty hard. So if you notice, Saf here will sit kind of close to the Blademaster because we know that it's gonna fall every so often. But if we can get it between waves and things, then it's still okay. See, look at that damage. Yeah, 2 hits, 2 fireballs, and the Blademaster goes down. But, I mean, that's okay. That's kind of the point, right? But it's alright. That's why we bring in the extra tanks. It goes down a lot. And then, I think I might have missed a little bit of healing there, too. But, you know, you do what you can. Resilience helps a lot. Well, I don't know how much, but I'm using my PvP builds, and I have Resilience on my Diva. And I remember one co-op match, I don't think it's this one, like the first day we tried it, I think. I had like 8 reses with her, just because, I don't know, she just wouldn't go down. And I guess yesterday I saw her bug a little bit, where I just wouldn't take any damage. I'm not quite sure what it was that would stop it, but... Anyways, that miasma hurts, too, when you have a lot of stacks. It's just mean, but... I think that's the one where Resilience helps, if I'm not mistaken. You can see I didn't take too much damage from the miasma shot there. And even with the defense break, I don't know. That's not too bad. So, but yeah. Simple run with Diva. Diva's the easiest one, and I guess it's good that I guess they did that on purpose, right? So a lot of people have Diva, so makes it very, because it's that fusionable monster. You fuse it, then you at least have one monster to run co-op with people, right? So just hope you can find the DPSers and DPS units. It's a 4-star blueberry's great for this, right? And it's a 4-star. It's not impossible to get, per se. You don't need Water AA. Well, we just did it because I think we wanted to just use up as many mons as we could so we can get as many runs in as we could, right? So it's kind of pushing the limit, but I think my ideal team would be Water MG, Water Diva, Blademaster, Water Blademaster, and then, what do you call it? Water Candy Munchkin. That would be my ideal team for this rotation. We tried to do a Nightmare with Kalda as a 5th, but I think without the Resilience gear and without the Hollowed gear, it's really hard. Like, because it just does a lot of damage, and you can't clear the Blight stacks fast enough. Anyways, I don't know why I'm stopping here. This one lost the first match, so I'm going to move to the second match because it's not as exciting. And to me, I think Magical Girl is she's pretty needed in these co-op matches. Legendary, at least for this rotation, right? It'll change, and maybe this doesn't help you so much because there's only a day left in this co-op rotation. But to me, she's the hardest one to do because she has to do a lot of stuff. Because, let's see. Skill 1 has a defense break, and in this team we don't have Blueberry, right? So she has to be the one that defense breaks, right? And that defense break is huge for the damage that's going to happen on the boss, right? And then she has her cleanse, right? Because if you get defense broken on any of the monsters, on any of your team, you make sure you cleanse that, else your team's going to get one shot, right? Especially the damage dealers. And then, of course, the heal, the off heal, per se. Luckily, we have 2 here. And then the ult, right? The ult needs to happen when he flies away, and then does that big wave, because initially you can take the hits, right? Maybe for the first 2 or 3, but once you get past that and you have too many blight stacks on you, it really hurts, and then you can just get your whole team just wiped from that. And miasma, right? So here we use double Magical Girl instead of the Diva, which is nice because that means that we also have her ult during the general waves, right? So we can get the ult off during the miasma. So in this team setup, basically, we had it set up so Breezy was going to ult during the main waves, and I would ult during when the dragon flies away. So that was a good way to time and make sure that we don't stack the ults, and we have it up all the time, right? So yeah, that's kind of what you got to think about, and you just got to do your best, right, and play with it a little bit, right? It took me usually the runs when I'm playing Magical Girl, we have to do it a couple times because it's a hard position to play, to be honest, for Legendary Co-op, but it is a needed position because you need that break, you need the cleanse, and then the damage reduction from the ult. They're all critical to time correctly. So So yeah. Yeah, so see, I apply this defense break a little bit too early here, right? Because now, as soon as the thing falls off, so usually I wait till 10, and then I will use my skill 1, and then get the break off, right? But then managing that, and then watching these guys for the cleanse, right? And then also making sure that you use this thing when it flies. Also, when it flies, when you use your ult, right? Usually, I think the trick is we wait like 2 seconds. You kind of count 1 millisecond, 2 milliseconds, and then you use it. If you're really laggy, then you have to use it immediately to make sure it hits, right? So it's just the nature of the game, what to think about, right? So. But see, you take no damage if you have that ult up when he does that roar when he flies away. So here I'm slow on the defense break, and I get the defense break when he shields back up, but ends up, we didn't do that much damage. But you can see once when the damage happens, it needs a defense break, right? Else you can't kill it fast enough, and the blight just takes over, right? So. Oh, this also shows the other dark magical girl also works great here. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the cleanse, right? But it does have the defense buff, which does help as kind of a pseudo cleanse, because it cleanse against the defense break on our team, if you consider it that way, right? So, but yeah. The roar. See that roar? And I don't think I had this up. Yeah, if you see, I have still, this is on cooldown. My ult is on cooldown. So that's the damage that you take on the roar. But luckily, see, we aren't past, like, we aren't at 30 stacks of blight yet, right? So you can take it, so you can mess up. It's okay, right? But it'll just be slower. See, the other times we saw, like, 1 minute 40 clears, now we're at 3 minutes here, right? So if you mess up the timings on it, it just takes longer, right? And then to the point where you will eventually die, right? So... but we had it up there, no damage, right? So it's very, that magical girl ult is very useful. So my asthma hurts a lot, but again, with mostly water, and then the defense buff was up on this dark magical girl, it's not too bad. So also, I don't have it here, but in hindsight, if you're playing on the phone, what I found, it's easier to move around, right? But it's harder to target, in the sense that if you're just spamming these buttons with your thumb, then you'll just attack the nearest thing to you. So there were a couple times where I would defense break the pixies instead of the dragon. So in hindsight, whenever it comes back, I should be clicking on the dragon again, because as a magical girl, the pixies aren't my target. Pixies are going to be the target of the DPS units when the things are gone, right? So it really doesn't matter to me. I need to focus on the other things. If I'm targeting this Baldragor at the time, right, then I will never have that issue. And then whenever I use my skill 1, then the defense break will land. So, but yeah, magical girl. So very important to the team. I think to me, she's the hardest one to play, at least from the team comp that we found within Epic. So, but. Anyways, last one I think I have, yep, is my Water BM clear. So this is my Arena Water BM, the one, attack crit damage attack, yeah. So here, again, the ult is nice because it can shred the shield, but you really don't want to use it when the shield is up, if that makes sense, right? So, like, the 16 hits is really great, but it does a lot of damage if you can get it when the boss's defense breaked and the shield is down, right? So same concepts, right? Just auto attack the shield down, right? That's the... Do we have Kalda here? We don't have Kalda here, but still, with everyone else attacking, right? It's okay. Take the time to break the shield. Don't burn your DPS until shield is down and defense break is down. If you consider those things as a DPS, then you can burn a lot of health off Baldragor pretty quick. So here, see, just auto-attacking. I see that defense break is down. I ult there, but then we got unlucky, and the shield just immediately reprocs back up, right? So here, I have no ult, so what can I do? I just auto-attack, right? Luckily, I have a crit damage attack build, so just the auto-attack's still not bad. We chunked it down when the defense break was up, and the shield was down, right? So again, here I'm waiting, attack. Okay, now it's there. So then I pop the ult, do good damage, but it flies away halfway through. Some of this is RNG too. Sometimes you'll just get bad RNG. You'll have to try again, right? Like these aren't. These. I'm only showcasing the matches that we won, right? So of the matches, like tonight we did we won 5, right? But I think we played maybe like 9 or 10 matches total. Anyways, but that was a big chunk, as you saw that, right? So I mean, that's the key to this. You need to do the damage, clear the shield, get the defense break up, and then attack, right? That's kind of the key to this rotation's co-op, right? And then stay alive. And then Magical Girl's perfect for it, and then Diva's also perfect for the continuous heal and res. Magical Girl for the for the protection, defense break, cleanse, Blademaster for the damage, and then the Blue Bear for additional damage, and then the pseudo attack break, pseudo defense break. So if it's not up on the Magical Girl. So yeah, I don't know why I paused it there. Did I show gear? Oh yeah, this is the one where unfortunately I got bugged, right? I didn't see it, but I did get the attack speed, resilient gear with crit rate, crit damage, health percent, and then flat stats. Legendary, which was awesome. Really, really cool. So I'll probably definitely use that. But unfortunately, it didn't roll very well. It rolled 1 into crit rate, 2 into crit damage, and then 1 into flat. But most of the rolls were pretty lackluster. They're all like crit damage was 555, and then crit rate was like 63, and then no HP percent. HP percent was like 5, and then health got up to 1,000 after the 1 proc. Anyways, it doesn't matter. You guys don't care. It's just it's gear. So, but yeah, I think that's all I got for today. Anything else to say? Yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Thanks for watching.